the same basic understanding. So we'll read the translation first, which may or may not be on the board, but we'll read it anyway. I'll just put this on slideshow. And Srila Prabhupada commented on this song of Locana. He said that we should sing the songs of Bhaktivinoda Thakura. He listed different Vaishnavas, and also the songs of Narottam Das Thakur and Lochan Das Thakur and Govinda Ghosh and a few other great devotees Prabhupada mentioned, whose songs we should sing. I mean, if we're going to sing songs, that is. Aside from the Mahamantra and obviously the general ones that we sing. Bhajans. These bhajans, Prabhupada, bhajans, this way of entering in. The bhajans, Srila Prabhupada himself was very, very fond of singing bhajans. And generally, and not exclusively, but generally it's not so common in ISKCON. We find some devotees like Agni Dev Prabhu who very much emphasizes the singing of bhajan himself and with others. Prabhupada did. We used to, when I first came to the temple, every day we would have 30-minute day bhajan class. Meaning we would sing bhajans, one senior devotee would lead, and we would learn. Those days when we were young, it was a little easier to learn. Now it's easy to forget. Bear that in mind. When you're young, it's easy to remember. When you're old, it's easy to forget. But what we're seeing now is even young people are finding it easy to forget. Sometimes they forget easier than older people. Memories nowadays are pretty poor. They were poor 70 years ago, but they're even poorer now, generally. Can't remember names, can't remember places, can't remember faces, can't remember verses, can't remember anything practically. Well, that will come up in today's talk anyway, remembrance. We'll get back to that later. But anyway, have we got on to remembering? But the idea is that singing these songs, it's not just a nice song. These songs are coming from the spiritual realm. And the ordinary compilations, just like the one you see on the screen right now, is coming directly from the spiritual world. Here we have it. Screen, oh yeah, we sang this one yesterday. This is the same one we sang yesterday. Have you got any other songs on your mobile? It's exactly the same. Screen mirroring, display name, FB10BB68, or whatever it is. Connection mode, pin/PBC. Beautiful bhajan, straight from the Vaikuntha. I don't know who compiled this song. It's not in the songbook. It is not in the songbook, as far as I know. I've not seen it. At least it's not in ISKCON songbook. God dear, with all the technology in the world, we still can't get the song on the board. Incredible. You've probably got mobile phones, some of you. Have anyone got a mobile? Anyone got a mobile? Okay, maybe you can share it with everybody else, if no one else has got a mobile. Get your mobiles out, look it up, and just get it on your mobile. Or get a songbook. You know, did you know that songbooks used to exist? Did you ever remember that? There was something called a book. Oh, by the way, there's some books over here. I'm sure none of you have got any of these books. Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, so many important books. If you haven't got the Nectar of Devotion, you must get it. You know, when Prabhupada took initiation, his spiritual master gave him one instruction: read Nectar of Devotion. That's basically the instruction he gave him, other than the obvious. So anyway, back to songs. Yes, remember, we used to learn these songs by regularly singing them when we were young. And some of them, like this one, sticks even now. You know, 54 years later, it still sticks. 52, whatever. Still sticks in their mind. We learned it way back then. And we had every day, every 6 days, not 7, 6 days a week we'd have a song class. But now, rarely does anyone sing any songs. Rarely. Well, to speak of know what they mean. Lord Nityananda, one the time, and Lord Gaurachandra are very merciful. They are the essence of all incarnations. The essence. Essence in France means petrol. It doesn't mean they're the petrol of all incarnations. Although, in one sense, petrol is pretty essential if you have a car. But, it's not the essence of spirituality, to say the least. But they are the essence. Why? Because they are giving freely. The significance is they introduce a process of chanting and dancing that is simply joyful. They're giving the whole goal of every avatar. Why do avatars appear in this world? Why does Krishna appear in this world? Why does he appear? No, obviously not for karma. He's obviously not coming for sightseeing. Why does he come in this world? Why does he come? Oh, that's better. Why does he come? Anyone know? Can you hear me? Okay. Why does he come? Why does Krishna or the avatar or any avatar come? Why do they come? Yes, Srinivas. Speak. Speak now. Srinivas. Where is it? Oh, no, Narottam. I mean, Srinivas, Narottam, Shyamananda. Protect the devotees. What does that mean? Standing there with his machine gun. What does it mean? Huh? Destroy the demons. Yeah, well, is that protecting the devotees? Could be. It could be said like that. That's going to be the topic for maybe tomorrow. I don't know. That's interesting. Okay. Why does he come? Be specific. Bhagavad Gita he says very clearly, doesn't he? You're right, but put it more specific. Paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya chaduskitam. Come on. What does that mean? Yes, it does. It means to protect the devotees, but you have to know what that means also. As well as to destroy the demon and establish religious principles. Why? What is the point of religious principles? What's the purpose of religion? Do you fix the problem?
Someone else show their speech.
Pardon?
Someone else from their mobile show their speech.
Somebody else fixed it.
One other did.
Didn't they? Well, that was extra. Who did that? You fixed it. Well done. Great. Well done. Great. There you go. Thank you. So, what's the purpose of, what's the point of religious principles? What's the point? What does it mean? What's it for? Pardon? I can't hear a word. Are you from Badri or something? We're like animals. Okay, that's the purpose of religion. Is it to make us animals? We are like animals without religion. That's not, it's maybe true, but that's not necessarily the purpose of religion. Just to say you're like animals without religion. It doesn't really speak much about what religion is, does it? Sorry? It guides how to live. Well, there are many guidebooks how to live life. The drunkards have a guidebook also. The criminals have one also. That doesn't define it. Okay, to establish the law of God. What is the highest law? That this is all fine, but we're talking about the essence, the ultimate purpose here. Yes? There we go. It's quite simple, isn't it? That's the higher purpose. Many people may not see it quite the same way, but that's the highest purpose. That's why we see the Srimad Bhagavatam defining what the highest Dharma is, isn't it? Savai sang paro dharmo yato bhaktir hokshite hoitikiya pritiyata yayatma supersediti. It doesn't say that Dharma is to go to heaven. No, it's not. The purpose of religion is not to go to heaven. It's not to avoid going to hell. The purpose of religion is not to live a nice life and get free of karma. It's not to become a pious person. It's not just even to repent. No, that's not the purpose of religion. The purpose of religion is to develop unalloyed, absolute, 100% absolute, pure, unadulterated love for God and nothing else. Solely and wholly, that's the purpose of all religion. It may not look like it, but that is the actual purpose behind it. If it doesn't achieve that, Bhagavatam, Sutta Goswami says it is shrama evahi kevalam. You're wasting your time. Krishna didn't come to waste our time. He comes, or any of the avatars, they may not reveal the essence fully. It may only be a path towards the essence. But the essence is to awaken our absolute, eternal, unconditional, uninterrupted love for Krishna in one of the relationships. This is the essence. Krishna mentions it briefly in the Bhagavad Gita, but only briefly, towards the end mainly. And even if you accept that and you're able to apply that, sarva dharma prasidya mameka manmana bhava bhakto, etc., even if one's able to apply that, which is very, very rare, it's not easy for people to surrender in this age. Very hard. Love of God does require a certain amount of surrender, doesn't it? You can't say, I love someone, I'm just going to do what I want, eat what I like, listen to what I like. In our minds we're thinking, oh, garbage. Your glasses are broken?
In the morning.
Oh dear.
I don't know. In the morning something dropped like on my glass. Suddenly it drops from here. Glass is okay, but that frame is not good. It dropped from here. So I just fix it for now, like with the thing.
Where are you from?
I am from India.
From India. Any opticians here, please? We have a dentist. I don't know if the dentist can help us. Any opticians? Haribo, Sham, welcome to New. You've been here before. You came last time. Huh? Well, they do have opticians in Malaysia. Maybe we can find one to fix you. Looks very unusual. Does everyone in Singapore have this like this? Latest fashion, huh? That's probably why you couldn't fix the thing. You couldn't see properly. Hare Krishna. I've got a spare pair of glasses that can help you. I have a special pair for the monkeys in Vrindavan. They're made of rubber. I literally do. They're made of rubber. You can bend them in every direction, whichever way you like. Doesn't make no difference. Monkeys get real frustrated when they grab those ones. They very quickly throw them back at you. Yeah, so the essence of religion, huh? Love of God. Now, generally that's not, there's indication. Every avatar indicates that. Krishna certainly indicates that. Surrender unto me. But how to surrender? Only Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving that. And not just how to surrender. He's giving a joyful path. Joyful. Very joyful. Dancing, singing, feasting, so nice. Which awakens our attraction to Krishna. not just a ritual or dogma or some kind of, implementation, rules and regs. They may be there, but that's only to support the objective. It's not the objective. Rules and regulations are useless if they don't help us to achieve the objective. Everyone's following rules and regulations. The purpose of all the rules and regulations is to develop our love for Krishna. There is no other purpose in reality. But Lord Chaitanya is giving that. Chant, everybody chant. That was his mood. Dance and chant. My dear brothers, I request that you just worship Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda with firm conviction and faith. If one wants to be Krishna conscious by this process, one has to give up his engagement in sense gratification. That's a bit of a tall order. That's not so easy, right? Although Lord Chaitanya is giving it freely, there's no charge, but if you actually want, let's say, to enter into the essence or into the actual deep spirit or enter into the actual purpose behind it of love of God, we have to be willing to give up sense gratification. Not many people are willing to do that. Not many devotees are willing to do that. Very rare. Sense gratification is not just giving up meat, eating, intoxication, illicit sex and gambling. If anyone's getting initiated here today, I've just given you a clue of one of the questions. You'd better write it down quick before you forget it. But that's not all it means. The external ones are as easy as pie. They're not at all difficult to give up. We have a problem with that. What to speak of the internal ones? The internal ones are really tough. Huh? That's the ones we have to give up. Eventually. But we're not Mayavadis or Buddhists. We don't just give them up and there's nothing left in place. That is really difficult. That's really difficult to do. But a devotee, aspiring devotee, tries to fill their mind with remembering Krishna, or devotional service, or chanting the holy name. We try to fill our lives up positively. You fill your belly with prasadam, and you fill your mind or heart with topics concerning Krishna, directly or indirectly. And this way, one can extinguish the blazing fire of material existence, the desires which come in our minds, never-ending desires. Many of them we embrace. And then we're also, another aspect of course, is because, unfortunately, we see ourselves in the center, we're always looking for name, fame, prestige, recognition, credit, you name it. We like people to recognize what we're doing. That's a normal. I mean, don't say everybody's like that, but to some extent, every condition solves like that. Some more than others, maybe. So to give that up is another thing. That's another process altogether. Become absorbed in worshipping Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, and simply chant, Hare Krishna!
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
I'll just take my earplugs out a minute. I couldn't hear a word. What did you just say?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Louder!
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
That's a bit better at the end there. At least at the end is good, that's important. And Hari Hari!
Hari Hari Hari.
Without any material motive. Ooh, that's a tall order. My dear brothers, just try to examine this. Within the three worlds there is no one like Lord Chaitanya or Lord Nityananda. Their merciful qualities are so great that upon hearing them even birds and beasts cry and stones melt. And you probably have a different translation on there. Everyone's got a different translation maybe. And sometimes Prabhupada goes in to describe how Lord Chaitanya, when he was in the forest of Jharikanda. Anybody here from Jharikand? There's now a state in India, Jharikand. And then it was a forest, I mean, part of different states, Bihar, Bengal, this one, that one. Now it's a state unto itself. So there's a forest, a jungle, and Lord Chaitanya's passing through. He got all the animals to chant. So Prabhupada said, even if you can't get the animals, at least we can get human beings to chant. That's difficult. Well, to speak of the animals, people are like two-legged animals. They're just like beasts, as Madhavananda said. You know. If you don't have religion, you're an animal. Not really any difference. Different shape, different size, wearing some nice clothes, wearing nice glasses with rubber band on them or something. Otherwise, there's no real difference. Same business, huh? Eat, sleep, mate, and defend. We use bombs and guns, and they use claws and teeth and what have you. They eat raw food, and we eat cooked food. By the way, raw food's probably more healthy. They don't need doctors, or opticians, or even dentists. Right? They don't need engineers and architects to build their houses. Right? They just know how to make it. They just make it out of straw or mud or live in a hole. They don't need to spend all the time like this. They don't need lawyers either. Getting worried, I might ask him a question in a minute. So human beings. But the beasts were crying, their hearts were melting when Lord Chaitanya was there. Their hearts don't melt. At least mine doesn't. But I, Lochan Das, regret that I am entrapped by sense gratification. I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. He has no attraction. And therefore Yamaraj, the superintendent of death, is punishing me by not allowing me to be attracted by this movement. It's an interesting statement, isn't it? It's a kind of a self-reflective, humble kind of perspective he's taking here. That I have no attraction for the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Without that attraction, how can we be, we're not really attracted to this movement. It's by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And anyone who's not attracted, in one sense, whether directly being inflicted the punishments of Yama, or just, here he's using this as an example, of because of that, I'm not attracted to the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. Yamaraj is punishing me. I'm not able to enter into this great movement. I will be attracted to this great movement. Yeah, that's the feeling of a devotee. I have no devotion. I have no qualification. I have no attraction. Prabhupada had the same mood, huh? When he arrived in Boston. I have no devotion. I have no knowledge. But Prabhupada did say he had firm faith in the holy name of Krishna. So we'll sing this song. Shri Shri Gaur Nityananda Jaya. Parama Karuna Pahodui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. Quite a long time. It's only one. You don't need to. You sit down. It's only one class. Sabhavatara Sharashiromani Kevalananda Kanda Sharashiromani Kevalananda Kanda Vajo Vajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitahe Sudhita Vishwasa Kori Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Nitahe Sudhita Vishwasa Kori Vishaya Chariya Terase Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hori Hori Vishaya Chariya Terase Majiya Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Mukhe Bolo Hari Hari Ke Kori Bhai Tribhuvan Nahi Hemananda Dolya Ladata Pashu Pakki Jore Hashana Vedare Shunijara Junakata Samsare Majiya Uhili Poriya Separe Nahilo Asha Apana karama bunge shamana koe Locana dasa koe Locana dasa Parama karuna Parama Karuna Bahudu Ijana Nitai Gora Chanda Sabhavatara Shiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, louder. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Locana Thakura ki Locana Thakura Tirabha Mahamotsav ki. Because of time we won't sing the normal song we sing on Tirabha. Time is short. We have to wind up by 9 o'clock. Because at 9 o'clock sharp, there is prasadam, right? On the dot. Don't be late. Why are you laughing? You don't believe me? Anyway, something between 9 and 11, there will be prasadam. Hopefully closer to 9. There will be prasadam served, and everyone's welcome. Those who are taking initiation, if there are any left, who are planning to take initiation, they're supposed to fast. They are supposed to fast from eating at least until after the yajna is completed and after they've done whatever responsibilities are required around the yajna. Traditional. If you have health problems, then there can be exceptions, but that's the general rule. Everyone else is welcome to take prasadam. There will again be prasadam at 1 o'clock. Bear that in mind. Schedule changed if you didn't know it, if you weren't here this morning. We've changed the schedule. You may have already gathered it following a different path here. The class this morning is just a class mostly just on Lochan Das Thakura, a little bit. And then there'll be a break until 10:30. Should be enough time to digest your breakfast, do the needful, and return back here by 10:30. Okay? It's a very important day. It's a very auspicious day. Friday is a good day also. And it's a good day for this beginning of the Kirtan Mela, which starts this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Because Lochan Das Thakura is, as we mentioned at the beginning of the talk, is, along with Narottam Dasa, probably the most famous songwriter of all in Bengal. To this very day, villagers, they will be singing regularly the songs of Lochan as they're walking along the road, or they're ploughing the fields with their bullocks, or whatever they're doing, singing the songs of Lochan Das Thakura. In this way, they understand the essence of religion. In this way, they understand the essence of Lord Chaitanya's teachings through singing these bhajans. Because they know what they mean. We don't. We just sing it. Oh, it's a nice song. Ask anyone what it's about, they usually don't have a clue. Even if you ask the devotees, what is the translation of Samsara Dava, you may have some vague idea, but it's not a clear idea. Not a clear idea. Even the pranams, many times, Nam Vishnu Vadaya, what does it mean? I don't know. It's a prayer to the spiritual master, that much you probably know. But exactly what we're praying, conscious. But of course in one's own tongue, and naturally one is conscious. So with us we're not so fortunate in that sense. But at least we should try to enter into the meaning of the song. It's very important. See, even with chanting Hare Krishna, our acharyas say, we should be conscious. We shouldn't just mechanically chant only. We should be aware of what we're doing. Consciously. So Lochan Das Thakura will speak a few words. He appeared in this world, read and speak. He appeared, there's a little bit of, let's say, as usual, they never had birth certificates in the 16th century. So vague, there's a little bit of, not controversy by any means, but a little bit of a difference of opinion as to the exact date of his appearance. But it appears from all sources, he appeared in the early 1520s, something between 20 and 23, 1520 to 23. He left the planet around about 1618, so almost 100 years he spent on the planet. And he was born, I'll read this is a little bit of detail. Huh? So say it was 1520, most commentators say 1520, which is how, now let's see, Lord Chaitanya appeared. When did Lord Chaitanya appear? When? Pardon? 1486. So if you have a master's degree in mathematics, you might be able to work out how many years between the two. Anyone be able to do that?
30.
Pardon? 34. Well done. 34. It takes an Aussie to do that. 34. 34 years after the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, more or less. So Lord Chaitanya was still on the planet, although Lochan Das never did get the direct association of Lord Chaitanya. We sometimes think, I haven't been to Mayapur for 3 years. I should go. It's great to think like that, by the way. But, in those days of Lord Chaitanya's time, to visit Vrindavan was not so regular. In fact, many of Lord Chaitanya's associates, there's no record of them ever going to Vrindavan. Even Lord Chaitanya only went once in his 48 years manifest, didn't he? Of course, he's always in Vrindavan, but you get what I mean. Oh, to go to Puri. There were no trains, planes, buses or cars. You had to walk mostly. How many of you would walk to Vrindavan? Who walked? Who's that back there? Krishnamaya behind the bottles. Yeah, there you are. Where did you walk from? Or walked around Vrindavan? No, I said, how many would you walk to Vrindavan? Walk from Kuala Lumpur or Penang to Vrindavan. Prabhu, I'm going to Vrindavan. I'll see you next lifetime. That's the end. You won't see them back here again. It'll take you years, right, to walk to Vrindavan from here. I don't know how many thousands of kilometers that is, but it's quite a way. Maybe you could do it in a year or less, I don't know. If you walk through the jungles. Well, they were all jungles then, don't forget. It was no roads. I'm walking on nice footpaths. So, so he didn't go to Puri to see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. However, he wrote a biography on Lord Chaitanya. Do you know what the biography was called? Chaitanya Mangala. Chaitanya Mangala. And he wrote many. And Chaitanya Mangala is also songs, but he wrote many songs aside from that. Lochan Das took birth in a family of Rahiya physicians. Any doctors here today? Any doctors? Medical doctors. Any medical doctors? Don't be shy. We're not going to ask you to do anything. Huh? Yeah, she's hiding back there. She's a doctor. Doctor, there you are. You still are. You're a spiritual doctor. So giving Krishna to others. She was a doctor. So he was born in a family of physicians who resided in the village of Kogram, which is, if you know anything about Bengali geography, Bardhaman district. Not far from Katwa. And his guru was, this is really a short summary, we'll expand on it if it's not expanded. Who was his guru? Come on. Not an easy one, that, because not much said about that, Lochan Das. He's not mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He wasn't present in that kind of group. They didn't have WhatsApp. They didn't have Facebook. Whatever, Messenger. What else do you have these days? TikTok. Huh? They didn't have any of those things. Even if you wanted to send a letter, it had to go by hand, on foot, maybe by horse if you were rich. Some horseman would take it. Otherwise it took months even to get a letter to somebody. And then months to get a reply. Now you send a message on WhatsApp, if you don't get an answer within 5 minutes, you get upset. Why did I listen? I haven't even opened my mail. I haven't even opened it. I'm going to get 6 to 10 messages from the same person in the same day. You can spend your whole life on them, never get off. Some people, that's their job. Right? That's their job. They're just all day, every day. That's what they're doing. Their life. So, they didn't know. I mean, there wasn't any regular news coming in. What was happening in Vrindavan? It would take months to find out. So, his guru was not so famous either. Although he was a very intimate associate of Lord Chaitanya. When we read the Chaitanya Charitamrita or Chaitanya Bhagavat, we read many names. But that's just some of them. It's only a few of them. Don't think that's all of the associates. It's just a few. So this one is mentioned, but only briefly as one of the branches. Shriman Narahari Sharakara Thakura. Not so well known. Lochan said, I am the servant of Thakur Shri Narahari, who is the master of my life, the desire of all my desires. I place at his lotus feet, which is that, this is what he's placing. In other words, he's placing his submission at the lotus feet of his guru, which is that this vile creature, referring to himself, may describe something about the wonderful qualities of Sri Gaur Sundar. In this expectation, he is my only refuge. He writes this in his Chaitanya Mangala. He's completely depending upon his guru for whatever, writing the wonderful qualities of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His father's name was Sri Kamalakar Das, and his mother named Sri Sadananda. He was the only son of his parents. He was raised in his maternal grandfather's home, and his education was completed there. When he was only a little boy, he enjoyed the good fortune of meeting the devotees of Sri Gauranga. He married at a very young age. That was one of the good fortunes of being in Bengal. You would regularly meet associates of Lord Chaitanya there. How fortunate, huh? So he got married at a young age, like most of the people now. And before he was 50 years old, he got married. So many people now, 40 years old, they're not even married. Crazy. Ladies, 30 years old, if they're going to get married, that is, are still not married. He got married at a young age. I'll tell you a story. He went to just finish this little bit, and then I'll tell the story. From his youth, he was very attached to Sri Gaur Sundar. And he never met him, by the way. He just heard about him from others. And consequently, very disinterested in material life. So be careful if you're a family man or whatever, or family woman. You hear too much about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you might become disinterested in material life. Be careful. Dangerous. Or even friends. Isn't that a fact? Sometimes when you become a devotee, your friends don't kind of like see you the same anymore. They don't really feel like much to be a friend with this guy. Nothing to enjoy with. Society and what have you. So, he got married. Now, you may have read, if you've read, the story, the life of Bhaktivinoda Thakura. How old was Bhaktivinoda Thakura when he got married? How old? — 12 years old. How old was his wife? 5 years old. Can you imagine something like this in our modern age? They don't live together. They don't live together. Only when she reaches puberty, then they live together. But she knows she's got a husband. And he knows he's got a wife. They don't think of anybody else. There's no courting, flirting, swapping partners, none of this rubbish. So, same happened here with Lochan Das, married at a very young age. He didn't know who his wife looked like, practically. And when his parents saw he was becoming disinterested in family life, they went to his guru, Narahari Sharakar Thakur. Now, he wasn't even living with his wife, by the way, at this point in time. It was before. So they were getting really worried. He was just a really young kid. And he was also already becoming totally disinterested in material life. Not even maybe a teenager. But just totally disinterested. So Narahari suggested he should go to his in-laws' house. Just so that he'd know what's going on here. So he went to the town where his in-laws lived, and he couldn't remember where they lived because he only went there once. He couldn't remember, so he asked the first person he saw, which happened to be a young girl, Mother, could you tell me where so-and-so lives? And she explained it to him, where they lived. He said, that's my house. That's where I live. He went there and he discovered that this lady he had asked was actually his wife. He didn't know it was his wife. And he addressed her as mother. So that was the end of their marriage. Because now she's his mother. That was the end. That was it. Finished. I'm not suggesting you do that if you want to bring your marriage to an end. There's a whole different social culture, you know, totally different than what we know now. We don't have any culture now. It's just some kind of system. But it's not based on any religious principles at all, practically. I mean, there's some rituals, but it's not based upon the rigorous practice of, you know, the Varna ashram. It's not based on it. Everyone had to get married. They had to marry when they were young, basically. Men could marry later, but ladies always married young. In his youth, he spent a major part of his time at his guru's Shripat in Srikand, where he learned how to do kirtan. That was the essential thing. Narahari Sharakar Thakur was a great musician also. And he taught Lochan all the various... I don't know anything about music much except for, you know, listening to it and singing a bit. I don't know any of the science of music. The ragas and this and all different meters. He learned all the sciences of, you know, Vaishnava, kirtan. Different styles, different meters, different everything. They were very expert. The book that he composed, Chaitanya Mangala, was compiled from, who knows where did he get it? Because he never met Lord Chaitanya, so how can he compile a biography of Lord Chaitanya? So where did he get the information from? Where did he get it from? Nowhere. You could say inspiration within the heart, that's no doubt there. But they also, even if there is, they also take directly. It's not just an internal thing. They show externally also. The diary of Murari Gupta. Murari Gupta was a very close associate of Lord Chaitanya in Navadvipa. And he kept a diary of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes. Just like in Puri, who kept a diary in Puri? Mr. Raghunath Das got his information and then passed it on to Krishnadas Kaviraj. In Puri, who was keeping diary? Pardon? Swarup Damodar, Lord Chaitanya's personal secretary, was keeping a very careful diary of all the events. And in Navadvip, Murari Gupta was keeping a diary of the events. So he heard from Murari Gupta. There is a book out, obviously, called Chaitanya Chandramrita, I think it's called. I think that's the one. But which is now available, where he got all of his notes and more information also from others, of course, on the life of Lord Chaitanya. Murari Gupta, who resides at Nadia, composed many beautiful verses about the life of Sri Gauranga. These include the youthful pastimes of Nimai, which Murari Gupta personally took part in, and his later pastime in Nilachal, after he accepted sannyas, which were narrated by Sri Damodar Pandit. He was the one who narrated it, and Sri Damodar kept the records. Having heard these verses of Murari Gupta composed in Sanskrit, I have become very attracted, and so I have composed them, this is Lochan speaking, in the village folk poetry meter of Bengali. So folk music is very simple for people to follow. Village talk, I mean, people cannot understand sophisticated language, so he compiled it in very simple language so that the villagers could understand it. In the Chaitanya Mangala, Lochan Das has written, my hope of hopes is to be near the lotus feet of Sri Narahari Thakur, to serve and worship him with my very life. The cherished desire of the fallen Lochan Das is to be allowed by the grace of Narahari to sing the glories of Sri Gauranga. Very, what a humble, the devotees were so humble. Not saying, I'm just going to sing the glories. No, by the grace of Narahari. We have no eligibility. It's only by the grace of the great devotees that we have any eligibility at all. My Lord is Sri Narahari Thakur, and I am his servant. Bowing and praying before him, I beg him to allow me his service. This is my only aspiration. Begging for the opportunity to serve. That's the mood of a devotee. Why are you asking me to do this? Sometimes devotees say. I've already done my service yesterday. Why are you asking me again? I did my 3-hour service. I'm tired. Anyway, I've got my rounds to chant. This morning I fell asleep during japa. We should be begging for service. Begging. Sometimes that may be there, but not very often. That's how a devotee makes advancement. Please, Prabhu, is there any service I can do? You go to the right person to ask, obviously. Desire to serve. Willingness to serve. This is practically the price of receiving the grace or the mercy of the pure devotees. That willingness, eagerness to serve. So like that. That is my only aspiration. Previously in Bengal, especially East Bengal, which of course you know is now Bangladesh, the poets used to compose sacred songs and verses in different forms of classic rhymes and rhythmic meters called Panchali, such as Lakshmi Panchali, Shanir Panchali, and Manasabhusam. The Panchali style of composition was especially used for glorifying the Lord. Sri Locana Das Thakur used the Panchali form of verse meter in composing his famous work, Sri Chaitanya Manga. The Panchali form employs 5 different kinds of song styles or meters. And you can see, even though we may not be following strictly, that certain songs are in the same meter. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Paramane. Then you have another one. Oh hey Vaishnav Thakura Doya Shagara. Different meters, huh? And you see many of them are in the same meter, many of the songs. And if you sing the first line, you look at the first line and see, that's the same meter as that other song, then you can easily sing it. There's only a handful of meters throughout the songbook practically. There's 1 or 2 exceptions, but 90% are like that. Having heard these verses, the principal source material that was drawn upon by Sri Locana Das, we've heard that, Chaitanya. Locana Das Thakur explains this in his Chaitanya Mangala. That's just a repeat of the same thing. I'll read the last line. As these Sanskrit verses and the conception of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu imparted to me through Damodar Pandit developed within my mind, it flowed forth from me in the form of these Panchali verses in Bengali, which I write in glorification of the life and pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In the preface to the Chaitanya Mangala, Sri Locana Das Thakur offers his prayers to Vrindavan Das Thakur before proceeding with the narrative. He says, I offer my prayers and submission to Vrindavan Das Thakur with all my heart. The sweet song of his Chaitanya Bhagavat has enchanted the whole world. Chaitanya Bhagavat is very dear to Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj and to our Prabhupada. In fact, Prabhupada one time asked, should I translate Chaitanya Charitamrita or Chaitanya Bhagavat first? He also wanted Chaitanya Bhagavat to be available Chaitanya Bhagavat very much talks about the wonderful relationships between devotees, Vaishnava behavior and etiquette. It talks about many sweet pastimes. We won't find them so described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it has many pastimes, but it's aimed more under the philosophy, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Chaitanya Bhagavat is more the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And the teachings come out in the interaction of the devotees. You learn the science of bhakti through the interaction of devotees. Chaitanya Mangala they all do this. He's trying to expand on certain special, just like the marriage of Vishnu Priya, for instance. Lochan Das expands on that considerably. And the departure of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he took sannyas, the pitiable condition of Vishnu Priya, Lord Chaitanya's consort. Like this, he expands on certain pastimes which are there but not expanded on in the Chaitanya Charitamrita or Chaitanya Bhagavat. So it's not. They would never try to, like as if they're better than the other one. They would show all respect and then try to embellish or glorify the other writing and just expand on that, so to speak. There are many pastimes of Sri Chaitanya have only been touched on briefly by Vrindavan Das Thakura, and these are described in detail in Chaitanya Mangala of Lochan Das Thakura. So as you know, when it came to the notice of great devotees like Krishna Das Kaviraj and others, there were two books with the same name. Vrindavan Das Thakura's book was also originally called Chaitanya Mangala, as well as Lochan Das' book had the same name. All the auspicious pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. So the Vaishnavas conferred, and it was decided that Chaitanya Bhagavat would be the name of Vrindavan Das's compilation. Right now. So that's it, folks. And we're over time. By now we hope that the prasadam will be ready. And we thank you very much and hope you will have a wonderful weekend, especially all of those who come from far and near. And today, next program 10:30 here in the temple. Hare Krishna. Srila Lochan Das Thakur Tirobhab Mahamotsava Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi. Buri Buri. Leave the mats here, please. And what else? Anything else they should do? If anyone, it's a night. I like the T-shirts. Everyone should get T-shirts like Subhananda Prabhu Gura's T-shirt here. Then we'll know what everyone's names are. Because more than half of you don't know anyone's names here. You know where you're from. It's a good idea. Have a T-shirt with your name on it. When now?